Hello, hello. Hello everyone. It's Miss Lopez live. I'm Crystal Lopez. So a couple of parents have been asking about phonics and really what they should be doing at home. There are so many things online, and I will recommend some sites and stuff once I post this. But sometimes it's just nice to have like a familiar face, and I think I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible and kind of give you a couple of ideas of things that you can do. So the first one that we're going to look at is phase 1 phonics. Okay, so phase 1 phonics is kind of like a foundation for phonics for phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So phase 1 is more for like 0 to 3-year-olds, and it's about really focusing, getting them to really tune into sounds and really focusing on speaking and listening. So this is where I always say to parents that like sometimes we think that, you know, when we say, oh, what does the cow do? What does the duck do? Sometimes we think that it's a bit silly or that it's not really, it's got no purpose. But actually, children being able to differentiate between those sounds and hear those sounds is so key to their learning and what comes afterwards. And hence why it's called letters and sounds, not just letters. So they're not just learning to read and write, they need to learn the fundamentals before they get onto that. Anyway, so let's get on to phase 1. So phase 1 is all about sounds and children really tuning into sounds in their environment, okay? So if you're looking at practicing phase 1, and I would be doing things like this all the time anyway, regardless of the age of your child, because I think it's so important for them to be differentiating sounds. So we've got a few games that I have found from the Letters and Sounds website, but sometimes we're just not too sure how to play them. So there's a really good one where you give, and I kind of do this with Pidgin when I do my videos, where you give them words. So you say words in general conversation, and you ask them, oh, what sound did you hear at the beginning of that word? So you might say, oh, let's go to the cafe. The cafe. What sound did you hear at the beginning of cafe? And see if the children can really hit k, k, k. So this is more for when they're like 3, when they're in nursery and they're beginning, they're moving on to phase 2 very soon. So like, let's all go to the park. Oh, what sound could you hear? Park, park. What can you hear? Well done, fantastic, superstars. And do you know what? As always, I think you notice anyway when I do my videos, praise is what really keeps children going. So remember to praise. Then there's another game, so syllable clapping. So thinking of words, it's usually nice to think of animals. We often use animals for phonics anyway because they're just easy and we all know about animals. So thinking of like names and clapping out the syllables. So getting children to hear those syllables in words, and this is really going to help them when they begin writing bigger words in reception. So for example, giraffe or hippopotamus. And you can have a go at playing that, and you can play that around the dinner table or just between you and your child, or you can get other people involved. And it's really nice. They really love clapping their name. So you can have a go at like Miss Lopez. Well, actually, that's 2 words. I'd rather do Lopez. Anyway, bit of a disclosure. Please remember that I am not YouTube queen, and I'm just trying to help. So if I'm a little bit weird on camera, it's because I'm not YouTube queen. Another game is something that I think we play already, and you probably do, especially when you're like toddlers start speaking and stuff. I think a lot of people do it naturally, like let's show auntie or let's show grandma, what does the cow do or what does the sheep do? And although we think it's just kind of tradition and it's something that we do, there's actually real value to it. And being able to differentiate between the animal sounds is really important. So there's games online or going on YouTube, or you even doing the sounds and getting the child to tell you what animal, or having pictures and you make the sound and then getting them to match the picture of the animal with the sound. And in that you're doing so many things, because actually even just recognizing different animals and being able to pick up the picture and having those conversations is really key. So those are some ideas for phase 1. So remember, phase 1 is about those sounds, those initial sounds, and just really hearing sounds, hearing those different letters, hearing those different kind of, you can also do it with instruments, so differentiating between a piano and a guitar and showing them people playing instruments, or even going outside. So when you go out for your daily walks, go outside and have a bit of like a sound walk. So what sounds can we hear in the environment? We can hear the birds chirping, we can hear the cars. So can they differentiate that there's a car coming and it's not like a bicycle, or it's not someone walking, or they can hear like people's bags rustling when they're walking past. Really differentiating those sounds, so day-to-day sounds, is so key in the preparation for phase 2 and phase 3, which is my next video. I hope that was helpful. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. Any questions, I am so happy to answer them through if you just DM me, and I'll answer them. I hope that was helpful. That was phase 1 phonics.